The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro, bringing you the biggest headlines from around the world. The Pentagon confirms that a Russian fighter jet struck the propeller of a U.S. surveillance drone over the Black Sea. Brigadier General Pat Ryder said the U.S. military was forced to crash its MQ-9 Reaper surveillance drone due to the incident on Tuesday. He explained that Russian Su-27 jets dumped fuel on the drone several times, possibly to blind or damage the equipment before hitting its propeller. Ryder noted that the U.S. State Department is now directly raising concerns about the incident to the Russian government.
Based on the actions of the Russian pilots, it's clear that it was unsafe, unprofessional, and I think the actions speak for themselves. What we saw again were fighter aircraft dumping fuel in front of this UAV, and then getting so close to the aircraft that it actually damaged the propeller on the MQ-9.
Moscow insisted that its warplanes did not hit the MQ-9 Reaper drone and instead said it maneuvered sharply and crashed into the water. Russia's defense ministry claims, though, that the drone intruded an area declared off limits, causing the military to scramble fighters to intercept it. Honduras President Xiomara Castro announces that her government will seek to establish diplomatic relations with China, which would imply severing relations with Taiwan. The switch would leave Taiwan recognized by only 13 countries, as China spends billions to win recognition for its One China policy. On Twitter, Castro said she instructed Honduran Foreign Affairs Minister Eduardo Reyna to start negotiations with China, noting that her intention is to expand frontiers freely in concert with the nations of the world. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin said Beijing welcomed the statement from Honduras. China claims that self-ruled democratic Taiwan is part of its territory and refuses most contacts with countries that maintain formal ties with Taiwan.
We welcome the relevant statements of the Honduran side. The fact that 181 countries in the world have established diplomatic relations with China on the basis of the One China principle fully proves that establishing diplomatic relations with China is the right choice in line with the general trend of historical development and the trend of progress of the times.
In Taipei, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said it had expressed serious concerns to the Honduran government. Taiwan is urging Honduras to carefully consider its decision to build ties with China, not to build ties with China and not fall into China's trap. In January last year, Honduras Foreign Affairs Minister told the Associated Press that they would continue strengthening ties with Taiwan and that establishing a diplomatic relationship with China was not a priority for their president.
The only motivation for China to develop ties with Honduras is to limit Taiwan's international space. They have no intention of implementing any partnership that could be beneficial to Honduras's people. Honduras should seriously reconsider and not fall into China's trap by making wrong decisions and damaging the long-standing friendship between Taiwan and Honduras.
Over in Pakistan, police and supporters of former Prime Minister Imran Khan clash, injuring several people. Authorities have been trying to arrest the opposition leader for failing to appear in court on graft charges. More details in this report by the Associated Press.
चल ठीक है फिर तमाम चलिए आगे तमाम आगे की तरफ यार चलो एक मिनट इन बच्चों की जो ये लोग आए इमरान खान को गिरफ्तार कर दीजिए। इमरान खान का गिरफ्तार किसी का बाप भी इमरान खान को नहीं गिरफ्तार सकते। हम इमरान खान के खड़े हैं, खड़े रहेंगे इंशाअल्लाह। ये पंजाब पुलिस इमरान खान एक बाल भी बाका नहीं कर सकते। नारे तकबीर।
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. News Now World, I'm Diego Castro. Naval forces from China, Iran, and Russia are staging joint drills in the Gulf of Oman this week. China's defense ministry says the exercises will help deepen practical cooperation between Navy forces of the participating countries who are at odds with the U.S. The ministry says the drills should inject positive energy into regional peace and stability. China says there are other countries that will take part in the security bond exercises but did not give more details. Meanwhile, the U.S. brushed off the joint training exercise, saying that other countries conduct such drills all the time. The European Union wants to step up its naval visits and possibly engage in joint military training exercises in the South China Sea. An EU special envoy says the 27-member bloc is ready to provide satellite surveillance to help countries like the Philippines. This is seen to help with response to natural disasters as well as protection of national interests. The outreach is part of an EU strategy to focus its actions in the Indo-Pacific to contribute to regional security and more intense geopolitical competitions. Meanwhile, the Philippines and the United States will hold their largest joint military exercises, or Balikatan, this year with 17,600 troops expected to participate in April. Mean Girls star Lindsay Lohan announces that she is expecting her first child with husband Bader Shamas. That and more entertainment headlines in Showbiz Minute, courtesy of the Associated Press. And those are the top world headlines of the hour. Join us again at 9 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. Coming right up is Agenda at 8 a.m. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News. All sides, all the time.